Pretty good. So yeah. Starting up. Okay, like literally right, like from the second you start. Like if you're on Tracer, you always want to be like working your way towards like the side of the fight and like as close as you can get to them. Where you're starting right
Yeah.
now, this is like where a hit scan or like where your BAP would start, you know? Like a long angle.
Yeah.
But like from up here, across like a long stretch, you'll be like hopelessly ineffective as Tracer unless they like push into
Yeah.
your team and like walk around you. So like for this map, you know, there's sort of like two sides that you can approach from. Like you can flank over the left, which is kind of shit because it's like really easy to mark these chokes, like when a team's rolling out.
Yeah.
Or you can come more towards like the card side and the wide side. And like down along here, you get like cover along all these right hand sides, and you can come through here. And this is probably like your best side to approach because like here you get a health pack as well. So like coming over to the
Yeah.
right hand side initially, you can maybe control the cart when the card unlocks, but you can definitely take cover and like work your way significantly closer to the enemy team and have a health pack.
Yeah.
Like for Tracer, it's like really important that you have some packs to keep you alive and to keep you going throughout the fight. And this side is more appropriate. So like where you're starting,
Yeah.
it's not a good place to start for Tracer because it's like you're just not going to be in effective range until the enemy team has already taken the whole map. By the time they're on
Yeah.
top of you, it's already too late and you can't control them anymore. You see, like your Baptiste just had his lamp shot forced out, and everyone on your team is getting forced to run backwards and backwards. And like where you're kiting right now, there's no health pack a second away from you. You know, like you know, if you were
Yeah.
falling back into here or something, then you'd be falling back onto a pack and you'd be able to keep healing yourself. But ideally, you know, you're coming wide right from the start. So then, like, if you're down here and they start pushing your team, you come behind them and you're shooting someone in the
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
from behind. Like, you want to be able to get that
It's-
pinch as much as you can.
Yeah, I feel like this like particularly like on Esperanza, I struggle like because on Lijiang, I noticed in particular I was like always not with my team. Like I as Tracer, like obviously I tried to like not play main, not play with my team, always be like a little fly or something, like a fucking pest.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I did that really well on Lijiang. But on this map, I don't know if it's just like I don't really know where to
I think the
go
reason you'll
or
find that you like struggle more with this map is because you have like this big separation, like up towards the center. Like
yeah.
always this like massive pillar is like a huge like cut of line of sight and like a long rotation to like get around. So you know you'll like wrap around one side and you'll miss the fight when it happens on the other, or you'll try and push
Yeah.
through this lane and you'll be like too front to back and you won't be able to do anything. Like if you try to walk up through here, like you just get poked out and there's no side space for you to take. So it's a little bit awkward just because there's this like split either side, and then it keeps happening when you're up on this stretch too, because it's like if
Yeah.
you're fighting low ground, it takes a million years to get up top. So it's a bit of like an
Yeah.
awkward map just because there's like a big high ground around the check and there's also like a big pillar around the first fight that makes things awkward. But you just have to sort of develop your plan and develop your style around that to understand, you know, how you can still find value. And like for this one, it's like, you know, very much wrapping around the card side, wrapping around this wide side where you have cover and coming behind them a little bit more because you can afford to do that. So you can wrap behind them through here, or you can play underneath through this right hand side. And if they're all just sitting top, then you can take the cart and you can control the cart and you can play through the objective instead. If everyone's just sitting
Yeah.
up here on the high ground and nobody's blocking the cart, then you can just push the cart for free all the way through and you don't have to kill anyone. And if somebody is blocking the cart, then you can just be down here shooting them in the side. So like someone
Yeah.
blocks cart here and you get to have like a good condition where it's hard to peek you, it's easy to shoot out whoever's touching the payload, you can get a lot done.
Yeah, so I think what was a little bit weird is like when I play push maps, I feel like and like Payload in particular, I remember there was a Jib map a little while ago. I was like so used to just like being Tracer and just sitting on like forcing cart pretty much. But this map, I think we wanted to try. I can't remember exactly, but we wanted to try something a little bit different, which is why we went like the Ryan Bap Torb. Is we wanted to like we figured they were going to go dive or something similar.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to like sit back and let them come to us, and they wanted me to like I guess like float around a little bit, like either like sit at the back of us and watch if someone else comes back, but also like just trying to, I guess, be a pest in the middle a little bit.
Um, I think to be honest, like regardless of like what comp you have, the style on Tracer is like quite consistent. You know, it's sort of
Yeah.
like how much you're dialing it up or down in terms of like whether you're like flanking really hard to try and pinch or trying to have like more uptime and just like shooting from the side in main, like whether you're shooting the tank or the back line. And it's like, you know, do you want to kill these backliners or do you just want to like shoot the tank and shoot the side on the approach? I think to that end, like it's very much like, you know, what tank do you have? Do you have anyone that's following up with you? Like, you know, if you have like a Winston or a Ball or something like that, someone just going into the back line, then yeah, you can for sure play more for, you know, going behind them more and like pinching more. But I think overall, like the articulated style on Tracer is very much like you're always looking for the same condition of like being a bit off to the side where it's hard for you to be shot out, but you're doing like, you know, as much damage as you can. And, like, it's really hard to do like meaningful damage on Tracer if you're in front of people, because the tank will block all of what you're doing. Here you're sort of just like trying to clean up the scruff for the longest time. I've noticed like with your movement, you like spam jump like all the time. You need to like unbind your space bar or something, because it's a really bad habit. Like it's gonna get you killed all the time.
Yeah, I watched Scrim back last night, and I had one of my friends suggest I bound my jump key to, I think, B or something like that now, just try and stop me from like instinctively always jumping.
Yeah, I think like for me, I literally like I used to permanently like scroll jump, and I had like such a because I played Lucio and I had on the scroll wheel, so I could like wall ride fast or whatever, and I just unbound it off the scroll wheel because I was
Yeah,
like I just started like jumping with spacebar instead to try and like break the habit a little bit, just because it was like it's so like bad, and like if you're playing Tracer like in particular, it's like the worst habit you can possibly have. Because Tracer has like such a small amount of health, and like you'll just die to hit
yeah,
scans all the time getting headshotted. Just makes the shot so much easier for people. Now here, like once you're like at an advantage, again, this is when you want to be like trying to get into this like side space over to the right. You know, like, their tanks down here.
yeah,
You don't want to die, but like you, even if you don't have recall, you still have like blinks and whatnot to get involved from a position like this, where it's like you're one blink away from a health pack to save yourself. You know, you
yeah,
can just do damage down here, do damage down here, blink back, and then like once your recall and some more blinks are online, then you can start to like look for a backliner again, come top, take a bit more
yeah,
risk. You've got like a decent flow of like, you know, your recall's down, so you're not taking big risk. You come and start fighting the Tracer, but you know, just in terms of like maximizing your uptime, looking for these positions where you're off to the side and you can constantly just be doing like big damage to the tank rather than like long range damage to the tank is really, really valuable. Now you're like chasing forward and trying to kill some people on the ground, and this is all fine. I think one thing you should remember is like here, like you're trying to like chase this Lucio to the ends of the earth. You know, he's really low, so you might be able to convert the kill there. But like when people get far away from you on Tracer, like you don't have to like keep chasing them, keep chasing them, keep chasing them. Like
yeah.
you should just keep shooting like what's closest to you for the most part. Because
Okay.
if you have to spend all your blinks like chasing someone constantly, and it's like not a guaranteed kill, like this Lucio is fucking far away, you know, like you don't have blinks to like keep constantly chasing him. Like you're blinking past people that are like not only good targets for you, but they're also like they're a threat to you, right? Like anyone that you
Yeah,
walk
yeah,
past like trying to chase a kill, if you get tunneled in on one target, like you're just gonna die to random stuff. So like right from down here, as soon as the Lucio starts to skate away, like you can just swap to the next target. Like you can win the war of attrition by doing lots of damage. Like if you do 3 times as much damage to 3 different people instead of doing one amount of damage that kills one person, like it's more valuable to distribute it across 3 in a lot of ways, because that's way more pressure onto the enemy team. Like they'll really have a hard time trading. But here, like you're super tunneled in on like trying to find the one kill, and here I mean Oleg's just he's far too good at pinning apparently. But you know he's like champ on tank, so I'll pay it. You know he can have that. That guy's really
yeah.
high. That
Also,
guy's really high
another thing,
rated.
like, yeah, on Lijiang as well, we also played dive instead of like the brawl, which also just it felt a lot better because like we had like Oliver's just like really good at combing, and like his like calls to like who to go on, and it was like sort of like leading the team where to go. It felt a lot more. I felt a lot more comfortable in Tracer and a lot more confident as well. Um, but yeah, I also another thing is like since I'm fairly new to scrimming, I get like insanely anxious like in scrims. So like my like especially on Lijiang as well, my aim was like so shaky because I was like my anxiety was peaking.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think for
yeah,
stuff like that, it comes with time. To be fair, you know, like everyone
yeah,
like
yeah,
gets nervous the first time they have a crack at something, like you know, playing on a scrim team or something like that, or you know, whatever the high stress situation might be. But I mean, like scrims will rapidly become something that's just normal for you, you know. And at that point, it's
yeah,
like you know, it's the same as you know anything else. It's a bit stressful when you try it for the first time. Maybe you'll start playing into matches and stuff, and you'll have a bit of stress there. But ultimately, you know, you don't need any like complicated techniques to deal with that. It's more like it's basically just a case of, you know, do it a bit more and you won't feel so nervous anymore. It'll feel the same as
yeah,
always. Here, I think like you know, like with what your team's doing, I mean, everyone's sort of taking the piss, right? Like you're pushing all the way towards their spawn and stuff. Like there's not that much going on. I think like with you setting up like forward here, this is sort of just like away from where anything's gonna happen. You know, like everyone's like these two are going forward like all the way towards their spawn. Other people are
yeah,
fighting more towards like the cart. You're sort of like in this middle ground where you're just missing everything. Like if you wanted to like
yeah,
play for a particular goal here, you know, it's like setting up to make sure that like you can push the cart and then fight whoever comes in towards the cart. So like
yeah,
they were gonna want to like come and try and touch the checkpoint. You can be like pushing the cart so your 12 can stay on the high ground and not be diveable. And then like when they come in to fight you, you can like use the cart for cover and you can blink off to the side to kind of drag people away. And then all of your other teammates, like you know, your Baptiste and your Torb and stuff, can have like the best angles that they want up on the high high grounds and just do massive damage to whoever comes in. Tracer's really good for pushing the cart in areas like the end of Esperanza. Like, I'll ignore upset odds standing in their spawn for a minute, just talk more about like the theory, because you said you're having difficulty on the map. Like, Torb doesn't want to be on the ground pushing the cart. Torb wants to be up top, because like if your Torb's here and your Torb's turret's over here and your BAP is up here, like there's heaps of damage coming from the high ground down to the cart. For you, it's like you can push cart with low risk, because like people come to fight you, you can blink back, you can take some cover over here, you can get healed from top, like real easy compared to anyone else, and you can still bail yourself out with recall if it all goes wrong. So Tracer's like a classic like cart pushing bot for like these areas of the map where you're like pushing down here, opposite side, same sort of situation.
I think I was a bit torn here because like Olive and Rotten were like calling to push for spawn. I think I do it like a little bit of trolling there. And I was like a little bit torn whether I like follow the call or stay back in cart, because there wasn't much communication from our Torbon cart about like what he wanted to do, and I think that was like poor decision making on me to then leave him and then follow, like, chase them to the spawn room as
I mean,
well.
I think like for a moment like this, you don't have to get too in the weeds about like the quality of the decision you're making, just because you're kind of like taking the piss and like pushing into their spawn. But at the same time, here, like if you wanted to get involved, like just keep fighting around the cart. Like it's push checkpoints, like really important. Like getting the checkpoint, getting that cap, so then you have close spawns for the rest of the game. So like you should just want to be pushing the cart and then fighting whoever comes in to push the cart. But instead, they've like run up main, they've killed your Torbon cart, and now like they're stealing the cart back towards their end. So like you've really like lost your turn here. Like a whole fight has essentially happened in main, and you're just missing all of it. Like you spend so much time like hiding and like separated from what's going on. Eventually, like a kill gets found on the Genji, and like you're kind of back into it. But it's not due to your own work. And here, situations like this again, like you should just familiarize yourself with the pack locations. Like here, you're half HP. You're like if you're right here in the middle, one blink to here, one blink to here, like blinking away from where the packs are, like just something that you'll have to improve in your Tracer style, I suppose. You get like a nice little natural pinch here, and now you're like unkillable. You can just stay in the back forever and keep fighting all these players. So I mean, this is all good and well. Well and good. I feel like I said that the wrong way around, but yeah. Skim forward a little bit, see if we can't find something where it's not Olive pinning everyone. So I think for a scene like this, it's like really hard for you to clear people up in space like this. Like you got to think about like where your hero like fights well versus where their hero fights well. Like you see like a Lucio Genji up here, and you're like blinking across face to face with them. Like they're running away from you. They're trying to kill someone else. But like the habit that this speaks to is like a misunderstanding of like how to approach different matchups, if that makes sense. Like Genji loves rooms like this. Like fighting a Tracer in a room like this. You want to get. Do you play a bit of Genji? Like.
Yeah.
It's like you want to get like as close to people as you can, and you want to be able to like climb up a little wall and like right click them in the head and stuff like that. And if you come really close to these targets, like close to the Lucio, close to the Genji, it's like you're gonna get booped. So that's just like free damage that you can't really dodge. It's like really hard to dodge. You're gonna get right click for like really big damage. It's like easy to hit the shot and like does maximum damage to you. You really want to like approach a duel versus most people in like the close to mid-range, but not like super close. Whereas Genji like loves to be super close. Lucio loves to be super close. So you got to be really careful with stuff like this. Like you're pushing over towards them like it's 1v2, and you're getting like really close to a Genji, which is like the danger zone for you in terms of the range. Like if you wanted to do damage to them and they're up here, it might just be somebody else's job to clear these people, because from here to here is a little bit far for you to do like meaningful damage, especially like when there's a Lucio. If it's just the Genji, you can poke him, and his health bar will go down and you can get heals. But if it's a Lucio and a Genji together, it's not like your job to clear that out, because it's too difficult to take that unless it's like a 2v2, unless you're getting some help. So don't take like a numbers disadvantage fight, especially like not if it puts you in the range where people can just one shot you, people can just completely distract you. And now here, like this is the habit from before, where it's like you're chasing after a Lucio, you're like really committed and like locked in for the kill, but like you're abandoning all the fundamentals of like what makes Tracer good. Like it's okay to like get out in the open to finish your kills, like someone's 1 HP and you're blinking in to like hit that last clip, but you can't be like blink, I'm staring at the sky. Like you look at your position throughout like the entire time you're chasing for this kill, and there's just no cover to speak of. Like Tracer does well when she can cut off the enemy team's angles. Like even if you're just standing here instead of here, already anyone that's standing in main those players don't exist right now, but humor me. Like at least they can't see you. You always need to be taking as much cover as you can for a given moment, for a given scene. And here,
Yeah.
like if you're just permanently in the open, like locked in chasing the kill, then like you're never gonna receive it. So like you're never gonna get the kill. You're just gonna get picked more often than not. So here it's like you're dead with blinks and recall, but it's again it's this sort of tunnel vision problem where you aren't actually like playing for survival in the character. I'm cautious to say that you should just play like safer, because that's not right at all. Like from watching how you're playing so far, like you try to play pretty safe. You spend like lots of time like hiding and like out of the fight. So it's not that you must be out of the fight more or hiding for more periods of time. It's that when you're fighting, you need to understand more of your positioning around being around a corner, so less people can shoot you, using the cover a little bit better. So here, like you're going for like a B push on their back line, trying to get something done. Here, like from the team standpoint, it's not the greatest of beat pushes. Like nobody's ready to go, but like for what can you do? There's not a lot to talk about here. Like you got behind them and they're kind of like fighting back into you. It's like 3v5 from the second you were having the push, so it's okay. Here, like this is like the same sort of like scary scene where it's like it starts off really good. Like you're down here, you're controlling the side, but then like once you start blinking close like towards a stack of people, this is where like whether you die or not here, like you do have recall, but like you're not finishing anyone off right now. Everyone's full HP. So like you're blinking into this zone and now like your recall is 100% forced. If you go back like literally 1-2 seconds, like you're in like a central position right here before you blink, where it's like you can blink back and reset again and get ready to go more without using your recall. But instead you're blinking in, you're using your very last blink. And now you're picked because you're like blinking into the mix of everything. Like you put yourself in that danger zone again. It's like you're close to a Lucio. Like even someone that can't aim will hit the shot. They'll hit the boob damage for free. Everyone does max damage to you when you get really close to them. So you really want to try and kill that habit unless you're going for like blink melee finishes. I noticed also that you took like the blink melee perk. I think
that was a
like
complete accident.
Yeah, okay, all right, just checking. Yeah, because that shit is hard.
Yeah,
like, that shit. Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen a pro take it once, but yeah, I think it's a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think I like, even if I like perk aside, I don't think I melee enough.
Yeah, I mean,
to warrant using the perk, because I'm still getting used to like the blink melee distance. Like I've been doing a lot of what do you call it?
Practice. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like doing blink melees and like blink 180 melees and
yeah. I mean, I think it's good to like practice it for the finisher, but like it's a very like advanced technique. Like it's like mechanically intensive. Like I guess you're like D1, so it's like it's not like it's out of reach or anything like that. It's probably something that you should have in your kit at this point, or should be like integrating into your kit. But it's not like it's not the most important thing about being good at Tracer. Like if you want to be good on Tracer, like being able to blink melee finish people off is like definitely not the priority in terms of like where you should be thinking like putting the most of your time into, or like putting the most of your thought into. Like the majority of like where you need to improve with this is like positioning, not so much like your mechanics in the character. Like your aim's fine enough, that all of this stuff is going to like passively improve the more you play, but like you consciously need to avoid putting yourself into these positions where you don't have cover, where you're not close to a health pack, so you have long periods of downtime. Coming back in here again, just like greeting like a death with recall, like it'll happen less if you're playing more for taking an advantage dueling cover, as opposed to getting out into the open and getting caught out that way. So now you're like here on the side, you come in, fight the Lucio a bit. Again, it's like even not just from like a risk standpoint, but also like from an aiming standpoint for you. Like when you get really close to people, like it gets a little bit harder to aim. Like when you're in that melee range for you, like on a tracking character, I think it gets harder to aim because they move across like your entire screen really, really fast. I think it's easier to hit like one shot and a melee finisher on you, like that when you're in melee range of them. Like it's easier for like a Lucio to hit like one shot and then melee you, or maybe like a Kira would be a better example. Like she can headshot melee you really easily. But for you, like you really want to try and be like a couple of steps away from people at all times. Like you keep blinking onto this Lucio, putting yourself in that danger zone, and it's not just that it's making it easier for them to hit the shot. It's like actively working against you too in terms of making it harder. So I think like if you try and work on that habit in terms of like your spacing, you'll probably see improvements that like it's not just you surviving more, it's also you killing more, because you're making the shot more difficult for yourself. You're making the shots more difficult by getting into that zone. Yeah, like once the fight has started, you can't afford to hide. I think I've seen you do this a couple of times now, where it's like your team is actively fighting. Something is actually happening. And
Yeah.
even though something is actually happening, you start like crouching around a corner and hiding. You know, you were doing it like
Yeah.
forward here, you're doing it up here at some point. It's like once the fight has started, you are not hiding anymore. Like you are fighting. You have 160 HP, you have 3 blinks, and you have recall. Like you must
Yeah.
be trying to do something. Whether that something is walking forward up through main and doing damage from here, which isn't very good, flanking around the side, grabbing the cart, dragging it down this way. Like you've got lots of options in terms of how you can get involved in this fight. But like crouching around a corner like this, like waiting for someone to come into you, like you're not like a stealthy assassin. You know, like we're not playing Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid or something. You're not fucking walking around in a box right now. So like you need to actually fight because your team is doing that. So like you need to be doing something too. You can't have these periods where you're just like just chilling in the wings. And like you do, you know, get back into it and start doing something eventually. But again, there were options. Ignore upset because he's taking the piss.
Yeah.
He's not a good reference standard. He's champ in a diamond scrim, so you know he gets a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he swapped Hazard when Hayward also swaps Hazard.
That would have been
And
enough. That's his only hero, so
the Vocalize, who like is the like he runs like the org because these are both these teams are for the same org.
yeah.
And I think Olive's playing for the GM team in the org.
Mhm.
But as soon as he swapped to Hazard, it was like the one stipulation is like you can play, but you can't go Hazard. He got
Where'd you
instantly.
even find him? Like, what's this guy doing ringing for like diamond scrims? Like, why is he doing that?
Oh, I know he's playing on the GM team in the org, but we needed our tank was unavailable, so we needed a sub.
Oh, it's like for the same org he's playing on the team or something?
Yeah, he's playing on the GM team. This is the Diamond
Guys,
Masters team.
he's so rogue. Like, I don't know what the state of these OS teams are like nowadays, but like he's a pretty good player. Like
Yeah,
genuinely.
yeah.
Like,
Actually,
because
he was
he
insane.
was on like a joke team in like OWCS. Like they like paid for their slot to get into OWCS, and they got shit on in every game. But like everyone else on his team is like really average. Like you know, like
Yeah,
I think one of their DPS players is like Masters, which is like way below the standard for OWCS. And like a couple
yeah,
of them are like GM or like low top 500 and stuff. But I mean, this guy's got like top 20 on his profile playing Hazard. You know, like,
yeah, yeah.
this guy's actually quite good. It's like I don't know. Like, he's just like bumming around in whatever scrim he can find. I don't know what his deal. I don't know what his deal is. It's rogue. Okay, so here fighting the Tracer a little bit, force her back. There's no need to like overcommit to that. Again, like you always want to be like working your way up. Like another problem that you seem to have is like outside of when you're like hiding really far forward, like you don't work your way into the enemy's territory nearly enough. So like
Yeah.
here, you've got an advantage. You can come up onto the right-hand side and start shooting the Doom from the right. You know, don't default back to the center. If the card is being
Yeah.
pushed here, if someone else has got that covered, like it doesn't have to be you, like Alicia and your back are literally standing on the card, you should be further forward than these players all the time. You know, you should be off to the side, ready to shoot their Doom over here. You should be down here, ready to creep in from behind and shoot their Doom, take the Mega down here, whatever it may be. Like, there's always side space for you to creep into and start shooting people in the side, in the back. If you're front to back with the enemy tank, it's a huge problem. It's a mistake of your positioning. And here, like, and you gave him punch too, but don't do that.
I won't lie. I did give him punch.
Okay, well, look, if you know what you're doing, it's half the battle. But yeah, like, you stole the pack from them. You might not even have stolen the pack from them. You should have. So that works. And now you're like back in 5v3, so should be fine. Get some blink melee practice in. You know, somewhere in here. Like, start trying to like. You know, when you're like up and you have like, you know, you're like 5v3 and you have recall, you know, go for a blink melee finisher or like a whatever, something in there, just for a little bit of practice. Maybe don't do it in your scrims every time, but you know, like
Yeah.
you want to get it above 0, right? And you know, there's like 2 parts to developing the instinct for it. You know, it's like understanding like the range of how to do it, like how to do it mechanically, and there's also like the decision making aspect of it, where you know you only really want to do it when you're finishing someone off. You know, like you're using the melee damage to actually kill them, because otherwise they'll kill you for you going so close to them. But you know, like when you're chasing the Lucio there, maybe that's like an opportunity for you to do it. Where you've actually wound up on, like for this scene right here, like this is like good space for Tracer. Like this is the sort of space that I'm talking about, where it's like, you know, you're a little bit off to the side, you got a little bit of cover. Let's pretend there is Mikiriko ready to bop you in the side of the head. But like this is the general positioning for Tracer, which is good. And then you can creep across and you can get more out into the firing line, like once people start to get low. So you know, I think there's not been like a tremendous amount to talk about about on this map thus far, to be honest, just because it's upset Olive killing 15 people every fight too. So maybe the ranked game will be a little bit more enlightening. But I do think that there are like, you know, some pretty like clear general habits that you have thus far, which you'll probably see repeated in ranked as well. And then like in ranked, there'll be more opportunity to talk about like how you can you know, steal an objective or that sort of thing as well. Here you got forced out earlier, but you're sort of just like chilling. Scenes like this though, like I can see you really want to fight. You really want to like get involved. The objective is so valuable to win, you know? Like I get that it's like you want to kill people, you're playing DPS, but like Tracer is such a good objective thieving character. Like you can just take the cart and walk away with it forever, you know? Like you drag the cart away, and if you're not dragging players away by doing that, you're winning the game by pushing the cart. You know what I mean? Like cart push, objective cap, like these are the most important things in the game. These are more important than wiping the enemy team. If you win the objective, it doesn't matter who won the team fight. So like in a moment like this, where it's like the cart has been abandoned by their Tracer, you blink towards the fight and then you blink back over to Olive's target over here. But like 3 seconds prior, you could have been looping around like the open side and getting ready to fight their Tracer on the cart, or to just take the cart if nobody's pushing it. And if you can steal that cart away and you can keep just dancing backwards, taking the cart down here, taking the mega, taking the cart again, you will naturally drag players away from the main fight. And, you know, if you get 2 people chasing you and your Tracer so you can live, you've won by the numbers without even needing to display anything mechanical. You've won just by using your head, because you've dragged 2 people away from the fight. You have got 1 person, so you'll win that way. You've taken their Tracer for a ride for the 2nd time. Is that a blink in there? Did you go for a blink melee there? Okay. Just happened. No, it's just looking good. Okay. But yeah, like these sorts of scenes, again, it's like here you're like chasing for the kill, you're like chasing to kill this final player, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's also like open objective that you could have taken post recall. You know, there's like 3 people to chase out this Genji. You can just take card. You know, like you shouldn't be 5v2 in a fight on push and have 0 players in the cart. And Tracer's always a good candidate for doing the pushing, because you do it without taking much risk. Like you can take cart really easily and not get in trouble.
Did Olive go off the map? I didn't even see that.
Probably pinned off or something. Is it possible? How does she go off the map here? Did that happen?
Okay, unless I'm just like not seeing things. I think maybe he ran off. I don't know. He swiped, no, because this is when he swapped hazard, because they swapped hazard.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I think here, like, if we want to talk about like you positioning for like a good new angle, like your Ryan's going and pushing the cart, or, you know, in theory pushing the cart, you know, you can also come through like the flank lanes, like underneath through the right. If you're pre-positioning more, coming over this right hand side and coming up top, like you can come from more than just like the main side when you're setting up. Like you should always look to use these like inside corridors that give you a nice little flank towards where the cart's gonna go. If you're not the person pushing the cart, you don't want to be walking up through the main side, and then you know, like by the time you start coming off here, like the cart's already here. So like ideally you want to be in front of the cart, right? Like you want to be down here or under here or somewhere off to the side that is not behind everything. But right now, like you're in the stack with everyone else. You know, you're in the same kind of line as your Lucio, your Torb, yourself, and your Bap is, you know, just a bee's dick away as well. So like if everyone is so close in the back, like Tracer's value is the fact that you can exist in places like this. People come to push you, and it's like, oh, there's a mini here, I can run away to this, or I can run back over to here, and you have to chase me out in your spawn. You know, you can you need to be problematic.
I think I was just sitting here because like Oliver wanted to go kill himself and swap, and I was like, I push too far. Especially if we're out of tank.
Ultimately, like
I do remember having. Yeah.
It's just like from these side space positions, you're saying like, you know, you're worried about pushing too far, but it's like this isn't a committal position. You know what I mean? Like it's committal if you go behind them, because then like there's no way out, right? But like from here, you're not committed to shit. If someone comes and chases you, 1, 2, 3, you're back in your team. You know, like and if they use cooldowns to chase you over here, like. Once you use your mobility to get back to your team, like they can't chase you a 2nd time. So there's no like, just being like 45, you know, 45, 90 degrees to the side of the fight, like to the side of the cart. That's not committal, you know, that's just Tracer. And then like once you're going behind them, that's more and more committal and more reliant on somebody diving with you. But like until that point, it's not committal at all. And is that Tracer also taking the melee perk? Like how is she not?
No, I think she's got the.
Why hasn't she taken the health pack? Like, when she has the blink perk, Don't you take the health pack on full
You
HP?
do. Oh, she got full blinks, I think.
Oh, she hasn't blinked as well, so she can't take it. Fuck
Oh
me,
yeah,
yeah.
for a second I was like, wait.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what's going on here? I was thinking like you didn't blink towards the pack, but then she is standing on it. It's like, wait, why doesn't she have
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Anyway,
I do also think like part of this was a confidence thing, and the fact that like in particular the Kiri as well was kind of like, not gonna lie, was kind of shitting on me a little bit in a few of the other maps. Like she would just like
yeah.
headshot punch me like constantly. And as well as the Tracer also was pretty good as well. So I was just kind of like,
I think
I
like
was like,
in terms of if you're getting like headshot meleeed a lot, I mean that's like that speaks to the problem in itself, right? Where it's like
yeah,
you never want to be meleeable as Tracer. You never want the enemy team to be able to kill you with their melee because
yeah,
like you should only ever be getting in melee range when you're blink meleeing to finish someone off. So like that speaks to
yeah,
like a problem that a habit that needs to be fixed for by way of spacing for
yeah,
you for sure. Just looking at the retake here as well, like you come up through this room where like everyone on your team is coming here. Again, like you can come through like the open side, come down here, and you can start fighting for the cart through a side lane. Like you get a pinch where it's like your team comes up top and you come from a different angle, which is really important on Tracer. If you go this way,
yeah,
same as where everyone else is, like this is a reasonable way to go if the cart is on this stretch and nobody's meeting you on the staircase. If you're trying to come through here, the enemy team is like out in the open along here trying to flip around. But if everyone is like inside here, the cart is down here, you want to just make sure that you're not going the same way as everyone else because Tracer doesn't want to path with her team too much. And then here, like you're chasing for this kill on their Tracer, but like you're kind of running past the Kiriko to do it. It's the same thing that we've seen a few times before, where it's like you pick a target, you commit to that target. But like
yeah,
that's not how you should approach playing Tracer. That's not how you should approach Overwatch. Like you should shoot the person that is most accessible to deal damage to, if that makes sense. Like obviously there's a time and a place to be sneaky and to let people walk by and then clip the one person, like engage really heavily with the one person. But in the same breath, like if you're in the middle of a scrap, you can't just commit to one target all the time because you're gonna die doing that. Like you can't just ignore everything around you in the hopes of getting the one kill.
yeah.
So you got to be really aware of that and just practice a little bit more of your target switching. You're essentially just giving up on the one target in the spirit of not being dead.
Yeah.
Another big push to the spawn. It's easy enough. I think there's not a lot really to talk about here. Like in this big open stretch towards their spawn, they're actually like there's no cover for you to use, so it's a little bit hard. It's nice if you can like get behind them and stay behind them for as long as possible, essentially, because being behind them just means that then you're always going to like get back shots. Their hazard's going to try and block, and you can deal damage behind him. But when you're in a scrap like this, you've got to avoid being in positions like where you've wound up. Like when there was a beat push, it was okay because like you're immortal, you have beat health. But when the beat push is over, like look at where you are right now. Like that, you're a million miles away from any form of cover. You must find a side. You need to pick a side. Get over to the side and start peppering from that side. And if there is no side, if they're all standing over here, then you can shoot what's in the middle and you can play a little more passively and you can take a little bit of a soft off angle until you've poked that thing out that's in the middle. Or you can commit a couple of blinks to get behind and use some more cover there. But like, you're at their spawn door, so there's no great options. It's just a case of like, we've seen it a million times before already. Chuck us a rank code. Give us something that doesn't have upset or
See if I
crazy.
can find it.
Reinhardt at your service.
Let's see if I can find one.
Oh, here. Sorry, before you finish the code browsing, here, like when you come back and you see their Tracer, you should always try to avoid doing what you just done here. Like when you're triple blinking onto something, again, triple blinking is something that you do when you're coming out of spawn. Like you're coming out of spawn, so you have no pressure whatsoever. And when you're blinking onto something to like literally like finish a kill, like you're 3-2-1ing and getting on something that's like getting dived by a bunch of your teammates and you can finish that kill. But here, you're full HP, enemy Tracer is full HP. Use all 3 blinks to chase her like this. Tracer needs blinks in order to do anything. You triple blink onto their Tracer, now she can just dump a clip onto you and like if she's not a fool, she would commit to the fight with you, you know? Like this Tracer had 2 blinks. So if she commits to the fight with you after shooting away, you know, more than 50% of your health, she will win that duel, or she will at the very least force your recall out. So like you should be very cautious to ever triple blink on stuff, because triple blinking is so risky. Triple blink out of spawn, sure, but onto an actual target, different story. And now here it's like, you know, you're here with your Moira in the back. You can get some healing from that Moira at some point. Ultimately, you wind up like you get impatient post recall. You blink in and you try and finish a kill, but like, you know, you can just blink off to the side, get some heals, or beg Alec to heal you a little bit more. It's not happening at the moment.
Yeah. I don't think I don't have a replay code where for DPS I've only played what do you call it? Freya. It's not really fun. I play. I just like did it. I can give you the replay code for Lijiang, which is like more dive one. I feel like I feel like my positioning was a little better on Lijiang. Especially I feel more comfortable with the map in general, and also the dive setup made it a little bit easier.
Okay, well, I mean, ultimately we can do whatever code you wanna get eyes on, really. If you don't want to do a rank code, if it's like not the right heroes that you want to look at or anything like that.
Yeah, I've only played Freya in ranked.
That's okay. And you don't want to review Freya, you want to do Tracer, is that right?
No, God, no. I only play her because she's like. Broken.
Okay. All right. So more Tracer. Okay, so you're like full dive now, like Lucio, Lucio Kiri, Tracer Genji.
This is the first map.
Here, gonna open your eyes. You can blink across here. You don't need to walk this long. You're taking the long way for a short path. You know, like if you want to fight point early on, you can come right to here and get on the point really fast. You're taking the long route for sure. You're taking the longest possible path essentially. So cautious of that. You know, you've got options as to whether you come fight the point side or you come fight the bridge side and you get inside the dojo and start working your way up through here. I think the point side's like probably the most sensible across the board. The only thing to consider is like your Genji has gone to the point side, and it's like it's nice if you can create a pinch, you know, where like you have a different angle to your Genji. So you know, if you see your Genji going over to this right side, maybe you can take the left side. You can come fight the dojo instead, but either side's really fine. But you know, like because of how you're pathing, everything is just too slow. You know, like everyone's already dead by the time you are in a position to act. Like this is what was happening on push, just in like a different way, where it's like you're hiding. This time you're not hiding, you're just walking really slow. And everything's happening around you. So like here, you know, literally just walk in a straight line out of spawn and blink to here, you know, and then you can make a judgment. Like instead of walking around the side and getting behind them to point, you can literally just walk here, you know, and then you have like some corners and some cover, and you can get onto this pillar and you can just be involved. And it would literally take you half as much time as it would take to walk around here in like a, you know, like a character that can't blink over gaps. And then again, you know, it's same old where it's like, you know, you're getting really close really fast, like getting into that range where it's like it's hard for you to hit the shot, it's easy for you to take the damage. Like you're here, you're shooting on the side, and then you should come up to the pillar and you should shoot from the side. You know, you should try and anchor yourself to these different points of cover, so that then instead of winding up in the open close to people, you're winding up, you know, on a corner, so you can DP without using more stuff. And you always want to try and find the shortest path into or out of the fight. Now you're on the point, you still have your blinks and your recall. You should, I think, not necessarily be giving it up as quickly as you are. Like, look at how passively you're taking this, right? Like, if you have blinks, you have health, you have recall, you're coming back here, it's like you're afraid of taking damage. Like, you're afraid of getting involved, right? Like, your tank is here with you. It's like a 2v3, but, like, your teammates are hooning back. Your supports are already here. Like, when your tank is here, like, you should have just been playing, like, on the point, like, poking away a little bit, trying to get over to the side. Maybe, you know, if you're going back, you're, like, ducking the shoulder and looping around here to come back in behind, you know, like, at worst. But don't take yourself all the way out of the fight like this. Like, we've seen this a couple of times, too, where it's, like, it's all just a little bit too passive. And then here, like, there's a bubble down in your face. Shoot your gun at the bubble, you know? Like, you're not shooting at anything. You know, that your bullets come back when you reload. So like here, you know, you're on the corner, you're not shooting anything, shoot your gun at the bubble, break the bubble for your team. You know, do something rather than nothing. Now you do wind up coming around, getting a bit of an angle to fight their Kiri, and you actually get the kill too. So it's like you've done a good thing in the end, but the time it's taking for you to get to this stage
Yeah.
is like there's just far too much downtime, you know? Like
I feel like because it was the first map, I was like a little bit like
nervous you don't wanna feed and
especially.
stuff?
I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, I don't want to feed.
I get the I get the mindset, I suppose, where it's like, you know, the easiest way to be noticed in a negative light is to die first or whatever. But you know, if you wanna play the game right, you know, if you wanna do the best or the most you can, then obviously, you know, you need to maximize your uptime on the character, make sure that you're doing as much damage as you can. This is like a nice little push through. Come here, you're like forward and right. This is bad though, like this is like bad habit forming. Go on.
Yeah.
Here.
That was a misclick, that recall.
Because it's just like from the second you're here, you don't even need to like keep coming further and further into their back line because you've got yourself an angle where it's like your team can shoot whoever is standing here from main. That player is going to take cover from the teammates in main into your line of sight. So like instead of you chasing behind where it's like they're all going to be able to shoot you and nobody's going to be able to heal you and help you, you can just stay in here and just keep shooting the side. Does that make sense? So it's like if there's a monkey standing here right now getting shot from main and taking cover, it's like, oh, that's just free real estate for you to create like a double angle. You know, like they hide from your team in main. They wind up peeking you naturally, but you want to keep pressing and pressing for it. You go further and further behind, and like if you're finishing a kill, that's all well and good, right? But that's not really what you're doing here. You're sort of just like chasing deeper and deeper because it feels like you can go deeper. And then obviously don't recall, you still have 2 blinks, so you can just blink backward into cover if you're in any sort of trouble. But yeah, I think you said it was quick, so that can happen. And then here again, like the way you're pathing through everything, it's very like you're glued to the ground, you know, like you're taking the long slow route for everything. It's like you're here, and you can just be here, you know, you can just blink across the gap and be here and get ready to get back in the fight again. Like if you take the long slow walk for everything, like you're just gonna miss shit. You're just gonna miss the fight, and you can't miss the fight on Tracer. You need to be in the fight, you know, almost always with this character, or as much as you can. The excuse to be out of the fight is when you're doing what you're doing right now, which is going and taking a pack. But you know, that's not what you were doing before. Get back into it, and it's all good. Genji's slicing, perhaps dicing as well. Here, like, it's really like risky part of like how you've approached this, like the way you've gotten like fucking like the Genji's really low, and you want to finish the kill, but there's like 0 time pressure to do that, you know? Like the only way that this goes wrong is if you get close to the Genji and he one-shots you. So like here, you've got this advantage, you know, you've got your blinks, you've got your recall, you shot the Genji to about half HP. Instead of blinking in towards him, you should just be maintaining range from him, you know? Like his condition to win the duel is getting here and pressing right click on you. You're satisfying his condition, not the other way around, by getting into this range. So like there's some characters this is okay. There's some tanks and stuff, like whatever, you know, like whether you're close or far, doesn't matter. You versus a Winston, you want to get up in his grill and fucking do max damage. But like versus Genji, like you must avoid this. Versus Reaper, you must avoid this, or you're simply gonna die. So versus Kiri, you have to avoid it. Just lots of characters like getting close is more detrimental than anything. And now here, like, you know, just try and... you live, so that's all good. That's all good. Like a little bit of a mind game you can play with the primary Winston. Cap goes through, but it can happen. So here, I mean, you've not died. You've done a decent amount. I think, again, like, this kind of, like, general habits where it's like, you're off here on the side. This is really good. Reaper walks up on you. Your natural instinct was, like, come back to the team. Your natural instinct should be come over to the side, you know? Come into here. Because over here, they have to chase you further. There's a pack that can keep you going. If they don't chase you, you can loop back around. You can keep pushing in towards them. But if you come back to your team, you come back to main, you may receive healing, but where's your agency to carry from here? You know, like you don't get a flank, you don't get a pinch, so you always want to exit the fight through these little peripheral side areas, heal yourself up with a pack, and then come back in on the flank ideally. Like trying to find the site where that condition is met is ideal, and you're not going to get that by coming back to your team. Here you see like Reaper's used Wraith, Kiri's on point, maybe you're trying to like follow off on your team's target a little bit, like when you start chasing the Kiri. I'd say all well and good. Next fight. Oh, Olive's fucking in there. Okay, it's not a lot to talk about with him doing that.
Oh yeah, I believe the call was, I've got Primal, I'm going to the spawn room.
Oh, you got one. So here, This is good, you know, like despite, you know, whatever the fuck Oliver's doing doesn't really matter. But here it's like you're off to the side, you start getting pushed, you take a pack, you just keep running back, keep backstepping, don't get caught out. Take another pack. Again, here, this is like same old habit, you know, here, you're back to your team. Over here, you can keep staying in the side. You can keep being a nuisance. If you start being a nuisance for the enemy team and they have to chase you out, don't stop. You know, don't come back to the team where your nuisance factor is reduced to 0. So you're over here. You take this pack. Next step is this pack. You know, and if they're not pushing onto you, if they don't continue to clear you out, because you know after this pack, there's this one, right? It just never ends. And if they don't clear you, then you just come back in with the perfect pinch to connect. So coming back to your team, that habit will kill you. Now you don't get that. Yeah, exactly. Like now you have to double blink through main, face to face with everyone. When you could just, you know, Reaper would have ignored you, and you're just right here. You know, you could just be right here, having a different angle to everyone else, and not having to use all the blinks for it. Here, like, I mean, this is just a little greedy, you know, there's like a big old clash happening, like they blade, they beat, like you're just greeding your recall for whatever, you know, like you want to get out at some point in this, you know, hit the recall, get away, but you know, you just keep fighting and fighting, no recall, but you know, it can happen. Now you're on retake, looks like you come through the side. Heal up well, Reaper's there. Reaper's kind of forcing onto you a little bit. I think again you're a little bit too glued to this like long rotation when you can always just like there's a shorter path, you know, like Reaper starts chasing you along here, you can just be 1, 2 and you're like actually in the fight again. But like if you're doing a full round the world walk and it's not like having people chase you and you're buying a lot of aggro for your team, it's more just like a time waste than anything else, you know, like Ollie's found 1 kill, your team's fighting and you're just like, you know, it's just taking a little bit too long. You get a great pinch at the end of it all, but ultimately, what's the difference between coming here to get that pinch and coming here to get that pinch? Other than the 5-second difference in the time it took to make a rotation. So yeah, I think short pathing for you is really important. Facing versus different characters is really important because you get a little bit too close to them quite often. Probably like your biggest issues, and then you know the like middle of fights, like getting out in the open, like getting too locked in on trying to kill one particular target, not prioritizing just like damage to one person. I think here, like maybe you're like a little stressed or a little nervous or whatever. It's like it's overtime. Enemy team has to touch, so it's like where you start is really nice. You see Winston over here. You come back to the point again, like that same thing where it's like, you want to do damage to who comes to touch the point, sure. But you also want to be like that nuisance off in the side, you know? Like, if you want to do damage to the person that touches the point, then maybe you can stand here and achieve that same effect. Or you can just stay here, catch people, like, you know, look how they're all coming in towards here, you know? Maybe you've got a pinch just from a double angle, but if you wind up, you know, front to back, like face to face with everyone, like look at your team's positions right now, you know, like there's nothing about this that screams like Tracer needs clearing, right? They just walk forward and they just zap and shoot front to back, like you're on top of your supports here, so you very much want to avoid that, because now your position, it's just you don't need to be dealt with, you know? You might win because there's a 2-off difference and they have to come in and touch an OT, but like you didn't make anyone use their skills, you weren't a nuisance to anyone.
Ready for okay. Ready.
Okay, here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
TPM.
It's time to save the world.
This is good, like, so this is good first fight parting, yeah, where it's like you come off to the side. In here, you can have like a nice angle to shoot the side. The problem is you come over down here and like you keep using your blinks to get like further and further behind, you know, like once you get here, you should just come up and start doing damage on the side of the fight. And then if people start chasing you, then you can blink back over here, but you keep going deeper, like you're trying to get behind them. And now like, look, you've used 2 blinks to go from here to here to here. Like there's no purpose to that movement. Like you want to be able to walk, like, you know, blink, 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 and then walk up to here and have blinks in reserve to shoot them in the side, and then blink back to heal yourself up and to get, you know, in and out of the fight. But going from here to here to here, like this isn't getting you in and out of the fight. It's just using your blinks for fun. So now you're like permanently capped out on blinks, but you're accomplishing nothing by capping out. You blink forward again, like you blink forward for a range that you could just be walking, like nobody's looking at you, nobody's shooting at you. And now again, you're capped out on blinks. This is just triple blinking with more steps. You know, like you really want to avoid being capped on blinks if you ever can, because you want blinks in reserve to do what you just did versus the Reaper there. You know what you've just done now versus the Reaper, it's worked out well, but you want to be able to do that for a longer period of time. You want to be closer to the fight, or close to the fight for as long as you can possibly go.
Yeah.
Next up. Again, like this is good space. Like you're in the right space. I think I think you have the right idea on Li Jiang more so than Esperanza for sure. Like you know like where's good space that you can go and play, but there's still like a little bit of an understanding issue that needs to be resolved. Here you creep up on the side, you get involved, you're shooting them from behind, you're shooting them from behind. Once you've been shot once by the Kiri, things start to get really scary. Like here, like you die to her. Like once she shot you once, it already becomes very scary for you to maintain that side and keep dueling her. Because once she's hit you once, then anything beyond that, a headshot is like your demise, right? So it's really reasonable once you've been hit once to recall back to full, like after a little bit, just so that you're not constantly dancing with death. You're not constantly in that danger zone. Because, you know, once you've taken the initial hit, the next will kill. So it's really reasonable to top yourself off, but you sort of just like greed this and keep fighting, and you just die for it. So
A few things I've like tried to work on is like firstly I feel like I greed a lot. Like I hold onto my recall too often.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to stay active and like do as much before I have to recall, where I should just like, there are times where I should just like pull the plug and recall earlier. And like another thing is I'm also trying to work on is like clip management, like trying to shoot and then readjust, like stop shooting and then readjust and then keep shooting.
Oh yeah, like not shooting when you're not aiming at them, sort of stuff. So you don't like dump your clip there. Yeah, I think that's like those sorts of like aim techniques and stuff are like really, they're difficult. You know, like it's really like advanced to like stop shooting when you're not aiming at them and shit like that. Like to like recognize in the moment that you're like off target and like have that level of like trigger discipline is like really difficult. I think it's something that, you know, you sort of like build up over time, but it might be like a conscious improvement to start doing it, but it's also like really mechanically intensive compared to like improving things like your positioning and like, you know, like adjusting like when you greed, like when you make a decision around like when you want to recall, you know, like not recalling because you're 1 HP, recalling because you're dueling someone that once you've taken any damage, you will be one-shotted by them, sort of situation. Managing your spacing, stuff like that. Like these things are easier to work on, I would argue, than the super mechanical stuff, like, you know, your blink melees and your clip management and stuff like that, because like all of that stuff will happen no matter what. You know, the more you play the character, the more you will learn, as long as you know that this is something that you can do and you put a bit of time into doing it. Whereas like you need like really intentional thought to do the other stuff, like to improve your position and stuff. You need to really think about this shit. Here, I think the way you've approached the fight, where you've like come out towards the point, is good, and you start shooting from the side. But once you start getting into the middle of the point, that's when things start to look a little bit shit for you. It's like you want to take this side, shoot someone out off the center pillar, then come down here, and keep working your way in, you know, side to side to side to side to pinch, you know, to the flank. But if you come down here and you're just in the middle of everything again, you're on the center of the point or back in your team, then you lose that ability to kind of dance in and out of the fight on packs and to shoot people from cover in a good way. So here, like you step up, you get some damage on their Lucio, you wind up coming through here. Again, a little bit of a, you know, the old spacing problem where it's like you're really close to them, like you get too close to the Lucio and he starts running through you, running around you. You're trying to like finish the kill here as well. It's like you have recall, you're like really greeding to try and finish the kill. Like you get that Lucio low, you want to keep chasing, but it's like you have no blinks to do this. You have no blinks to do this. You're blinking like face to face with the Reaper to do it. Like you're begging for a one shot here, and the whole time it's like you're blinking past a cast to do this. You're blinking past a Kiri to do this. You're just running past 15 different viable targets in the pursuit of the one target that you really want. You wind up recalling through it all, but you know, like it's upset all of it's killed 15 people in the feed right now. Like you can definitely be forming better habits so much easier.
Dude, that fucking I just stole that Reaper's like fucking
you snapped his
pack
ankles.
there. That fucking perk is so busted. It should not let you take blinks on like take the packs on full HP.
I mean, it's just the best perk ever, dude. Like it's so good for like dueling other Tracers, for dueling any character really. And it just means your uptime on Tracer is like a million times higher too. Like you can blink to a pack with like no negative consequence, you know, like you blink on and off and it's like you just get you have so much such higher uptime if you get good at actually using the packs. Oh, that's a horrible sound. Okay, so here you're setting up forward. You get in the flank again. Olive wants to fight in their spawn, I think. I think here, like, pushing around outside, this flank is only good if you're fighting them out here, you know? Like, as soon as the enemy team is pushed through the choke, this flank is shit, you know? Because, like, right here, you get all of the same things, you know? Like, right now, you'd be able to shoot everyone in the side. If there's a call where it's like, we're going to fight them outside, which I'd say is exceptional and a bit weird, because your tank, nobody wants to push through this choke. Like, on your team's perspective, nobody wants to push through this choke. It's like, if you're fighting out here, it's like, you're really trying to win for a particular reason. Like, you're really down on ults, or they have to touch the point really desperately, or something like that. But, like, overall, like, here to here should be more than enough for you. You know, you can come to here, you can walk to here, and then you can start using your blinks when you're fighting. You can steal the meg here. Like, you've got options. Coming around the back here, you isolate yourself from all packs. It's really open. It's a longer rotation, like down from here to here. It's like more like 2 blinks rather than 1. And your team doesn't want to fight here. So I think you're like taking the long path again, but you know, you're basically addicted to the long path. So it's no surprise after some 50 minutes of watching you play Tracer that you like to take the long walk. Yeah. And then here, like, you know, when it all breaks down, you know, you've got like lots of options to like blink out of the fight. But because, you know, early blinks have been used getting into the fight because of how you position, and you keep getting close, like you come into the mix going for a pulse, you greed again, like there's just no need for such greed here. It's like you found your 1 kill, you can recall, you found your 1 kill, you can blink to a mega, you just do none of the above, you know, like you're prioritizing fighting in the scrap far too much. And again, you're fighting into a beat. Like they beat, you greed recall. Like you did that on Garden. You're doing it again here on Control Center, where it's like, you know, they use these ultimates that prevent them from dying. Like your goal should become, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Here, you've seen a Reaper Wraith. You're tunneling in on them, and you're face to face with a man that is about to flashbang you and kill you, or you know, something of the sort. So like again, like just habits that need some work here, where it's like, you know, you see a target and you ignore the rest of the scene. Can't be doing that. Can't be just shrugging off the realities of the situation. Here again, I mean we've talked it half to death at this point, but like, you know, you're right here. You're in great range, like here to here, to shoot at their Kiri and do like really meaningful damage to her. But you blink really close to her, and you're putting yourself in that 1-shot range. She doesn't even shoot you here, but like you're just spacing like a maniac. Again, you do it like every time. Like you just keep going into the range where it's like they can 1-shot you, and it doesn't help you hit the shot at all. So really, I'd say that's probably like, this is like your #1 habit that needs fixing. Is like when you're trying to kill people, you put them in a position. You put yourself in a position where they can kill you instead. You need to stop doing that. You need to find like this range right here. This is perfect. You know, 3 steps closer. This is perfect. 3 steps in a blink. Not so much. Learn to thrive in the mid range a little bit more. Going close like that to finish a kill, like extremely reasonable. But that's like when someone's really low. You know, when you're finishing the kill, you're blink meleeing them or whatever it may be. But yeah, your distance management could definitely do with some work. And I think, you know, if you've got the OP perk, like you've got the pack blink perk, you should always try and lean towards like pack control. You know, like you don't just need to use the packs to heal yourself. You can also use the packs to heal your blink count, you know, like to get back on top of blinks, to deny them the pack, like whatever it may be. So just try and lean towards that shit a little bit more. Like, you know, anytime you can snatch up a pack, like the downtime incurred by taking the pack is so low because of the fact that it gives you blinks back, you know? Like, obviously, blinking from here to here will be faster to get you onto the Ramatra. The Ramatra's dead too. But, like, you know, you're, like, not full. You can walk across here. You can blink across here. And then, like, you know, the difference between blinking here or going, you know, 1, 2, obviously it's a little bit longer to go the 1, 2. Like I'm stretching the truth a little bit and saying that you can blink from here to here, but at the same time, like for 0.3 of a second, you've denied a pack from someone else that might want to use it, and you've put yourself back on full, whatever. It's just there's optimizations to be made there when you have that perk. It really helps. A little bit of Freya action.
Another Freya.
You're not a fan of the Freya? I mean, we've got
no.
You know, we're like, you know, we're pretty much at the end of our hour, so we might as well watch the Freya. See what we got. Do you not have confidence on the Freya? Why was it?
No, not really. Like she's not really my hero. I only play her because I don't know. I feel like throwing a little bit of it, just being silly. Like her kit's kind of cool, but I feel like she's just like a little bit unfun.
Okay, I mean, I think, you know, I mean, I'm more than happy to watch her. Just, you know, you know, we've got a few minutes to kill, so we might as well. But yeah, I mean, she's a really good character. Like if you get good at this character, like really insane character. Just hard. I think you know like what's up?
Yeah. It's a bit silly, but like I think for the stupid like hero SR thing, like most of my DPS are diamond and my Freya's GM rated.
Oh really?
Even though I'm nowhere near like that skill, I don't know
Do you
what's
like? Do you just like climb on Freya a lot? Do you just like win more?
Yeah,
games
she's
than you
actually.
lose?
I think I have like I played her for like I think maybe 15 hours, and I've got like an 86% win rate.
Fucking hell, that'll do it. Yeah, because I was gonna say like your position for the first fight is like quite good. Like you're like central and you're like up on the high, like you're up on the high ground where you have like good vision of
Yeah.
everything, and you kind of like creep in towards the fight, which is good. The only like negative feedback that I have is like you got to be really careful when you're on Freya to not like tunnel in on hitting the shot, you know, again in like
Yeah.
tunnel theory, not tunnel in on hitting the shot and then use all of your mobility and just wind up in the middle of everything when you're done. Because like it's so easy to like try and hit the shot, try and hit the bolt. You're in the sky, you're floating forward, and then when you hit the ground, you're just suddenly in the danger zone. Like here, when you finally landed, you landed in the garden face to face with their ram. You were like in the ram's kill zone. Oh fuck.
Bless you.
Never get old. Never get old. So yeah, just for sure, like the starting position that you had was good. You had a nice angle the whole time. You need to be very aware though, like that you're not using your dashes towards the enemy and landing in the fucking the cum zone of death, where it's like they can just easily shit on you. Because here, like you know, you've juked their ram, like spaced a little bit. Maybe when you see the ram coming towards you, you can just like backstep more. You know, backstep, get ready to like updraft on the coast earlier. But you know, there's nothing too critical. I think your starting position was all good, and now you're like. The way you've wrapped back around towards main and gotten a good angle again, I think that like your natural play on this hero looks better than Tracer, to be honest. In terms of like the way that your style works, like this makes more sense. Like you will get more natural impact. Fucking hell, bolty as. You don't like Freya?
No, not particularly.
That's
Like
a shame.
I feel like hit scans are probably like my like better than my flex DPS heroes.
Yeah.
Or like main DPS heroes better than my flex.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she's fun. I remember I played her when she like for the like trial test before she got released, and I was like she was pretty fun, and I kind of like just enjoyed playing her a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, just she feels a little bit like too cheese sometimes. Like I feel like her damage is like a joke, actually a joke.
She's good. She's real good for
Yeah.
sure. Here, I think the only thing that like you can improve on is like you just want to think like how can I like maximize my value of like my updraft really? Like you just want your space to overlap or like align with like where you can get value with updraft. So it's like if they dive you can updraft to safety, or you can like use updraft like way more aggressively. So like if you're holding forward and trying to like dive them outside a little bit, you can play towards like this cover, like aggressive, and be poking them through here, or you can be like poking up through main, and then like when you want to fall back, it's like you can updraft and you can like come through the window and shit, or like you know the opposite of like you know you're updrafting and you're like coming forward. Otherwise, like you're playing back a point, like where you're at, and you're like poking, and like your angle's okay, it's a little bit passive, but your angle's fine here. And if they try to dive you at the back of the point again, it's like you can fly up here, you can hover on these rooftops, you can really like you can juke people quite easily. It's always good if you don't start at the back of the point when you're playing a comp like this, just because like the angles at the back of the point, they're safe positions, but they're not good positions to aggress. So here, like you know, you're coming forward, you're inside, you're getting a couple of bolts off. Olive's, you know, he's doing God's work. Their Winston sort of like jump in the back here. Here you can just like bowler this and like get an easy kill. Like again here. Let's hurry up, Olive. I can watch this again. Okay, so you know it's like here, like don't like updraft for like no reason. You know, like here you're sort of just like in the middle of every, or you're in the middle of main and you just updraft for like no reason at all. And now like you know you drop in, you kill the Winston, and now it's like you have no updraft for when the fight actually like starts to break down. When you actually want to get away from everything. Like don't updraft for a good angle or updraft to get away from something, but don't updraft just like you know you don't need a good angle to shoot a Winston the thing 1v5 in your back line. You still escape though, and now you can updraft more to safety. Your natural play on this character is definitely better than Tracer, right?
Yeah, I think she's probably my most comfortable. Like I just feel confident. Like I think I climbed from Plat 1. I was DPS Plat 1 last season, and now I'm Diamond 1 on DPS just playing Freya.
You've just got a bit of a knack for the way that Freya positions. To be honest, I feel like like looking at where you're standing, like on Freya compared to like how you naturally position pre-fight on like Tracer. It's very night and day in terms of like the value of where you're standing and where it's gonna like lead to value. You know, like everywhere where you're standing thus far, it's like you actually have a good angle to just do damage to the enemy team, like to do that right from the start. Whereas like on Tracer, there's a lot more missing pieces. Because you know, like right now, if you were on Tracer, like you'd be going for like a long rotation somewhere. You know, like you'd be, but you've already bolted their soldier. Here, like again, like it's a beat push, so it's okay. If you get into positions like this, like these are great times to like drop the bowler. You know, like you come in on the flank, you've beat pushed in, you've got someone like really close to you, so it's like impossible for them to like dodge the bowler. Like the bowler's hitbox is fucking huge when you're close to them like this. I'd say that I generally advise against like updrafting in and just like double dashing in, like real aggressive like this. But it's like you're beat pushing something like that, so it's like I can see the case for it, but like you should dump the bowler so you can like CC someone and then you can just hit the one shot really easy. Especially like when people are stacked up, like bowlering is so insane because it has like it has like an Orisa pull from Overwatch 1 baked into it, you know. So it's like you drop the bowler and you grip people in here and it'll be so good. And like bowler's a high output ult, you know. It's like build a bowler, use a bowler, build a bowler, use a bowler. Like, it's something where it's like don't just piss it away for nothing, but like if you have a good angle to use it, if you're close to people, you should dump that shit right away. Because like your passive builds it really fast. You know, like 3 final blows gets you what 25-30% of your ult or some shit. I can't remember what the numbers are, but yeah, like you get bowls so fast. Like not only does the character do a bunch of damage, but you know the three final blows thing just gets it for you for free half the time. Here, this angle that you're coming out to initially, like this is a good wide angle, just like a hit scan staple to come to the side. Only thing to engage with is the fact that like from here you cannot updraft, you cannot like get any value out of like Freya's natural kit. So this is good. Like if the enemy team is holding you forward, you can poke them out of like the center structure. Like if there's a ground tank holding here, you can come to the side and you can poke them out. But if they're playing towards the back of the point, there's not so much value in it anymore because again, you're just like one updraft away from being able to poke them through this window and do the same sort of stuff. It's good to like clear this versus ground tanks and such in particular, but you can see like with the way that they're holding, like maybe not that necessary because you're playing a character that can just dodge. And again, like heaps of like juicy targets stacked up on the point. There's a bowler in this, you know, not saying gamble your bowler, but you know, like you don't need to nurse that shit whatsoever. You can just send that shit. Bowler's a lot easier to hit than a pulse one, to be honest. So yeah, and it builds maybe faster even because of the passive. There you go. That was the right type of gambling. That was Australian improved gambling for sure. Yeah.
I mean, that was old school. Actually, it was like as soon as like they walk through, just bowl the fucking entrance.
Olive's spied the fact that you've been nursing the same bowler for 188% of the coffee round, and he's like, I'm gonna tell this Freya to use this bowler right now. Like, but yeah, like you should. Okay, I mean to be honest, like for Freya, there's not that much feedback there. Like your natural play in Freya is really good. Like you're not a diamond Freya. I think like you're gonna rank it. You said you're 86% win around Freya, right? Like that's insane. So yeah, like for Freya in particular, like the only like general feedback is making sure that you're like in a position where you can like maximize the value of your updraft. Because if you're standing somewhere like under here or whatever, you just got to be aware that like you know updraft is completely fucking useless. Like increase the turnover of your bowler because like you have it a bunch, and then don't tunnel on the shot so much that you're landing in the middle of everything. That's probably like the major things for you, just because like if you dump a bunch of your dashes and such trying to find a kill, and then you land face to face with the Ramatra, it's like you're dead. For Tracer, the feedback's like there's way more that you need to improve on. I'd say in terms of like like increasing the time that you're using health packs, decreasing the amount of time that you're spending like walking around the map or hiding, because like there's short paths everywhere that you're just not taking. Trying to find like not so much like front to back, like not kiting back to your team, not starting with your team, trying to find like the 90-degree angle or more. Like hit scan is like you want to play 45 degrees away from the fight, right? At 90 at most. So like this is 90, this is 45, this is main, right? For Tracer, it's like you want to be like 90 degrees to like 180, you know, like you want to be all
Yeah.
the way behind them or 90 degrees at best. So you're always off to the side, always off to the side.
Yeah.
Avoiding being, you know, in those like hit scan overlapping positions, having like the mental distinction of like, you know, I don't want to be on top of my team. I want to be to the side where I must be forced out. I must be chased out. They need to turn their head to deal with me. And then I can run away to a mini health pack or a mega health pack and keep myself in the fight for much,
Yeah.
much longer periods of time. And then like in terms of like the mechanical side of things, like the way you approach duels, you need to like stop locking in on one target and chasing them to the ends of the earth because like you're just running past 15 different viable targets.
Yeah.
Like more damage rather than more focused damage because like
Yeah.
you will do so much more by just dumping 3 clips worth of like mid-range damage rather than chasing someone for 3 clips of long-range damage. Like 3 clips
Yeah.
across 3 players is way more value than 1 clip worth of damage that took 3 clips worth of time.
Yeah.
So maximizing that and then spacing, not just for chasing kills, but like stopping coming so close to people all the time. When you want to kill
Yeah.
someone, you keep going face to face with them and trying to kiss them, but you know you don't need to kiss on that side of the blink melee finisher.
Yeah.
So stop getting like really, really close to people because it's just causing you to die. It's taking you away from the cover.
Yeah.
It's making it harder for you to hit the shot, and it's making it way, way, way easier for the enemy to hit the shot, and then the melee that will finish you off.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are probably your big points.
Yeah, cool. I definitely need I think like mainly a confidence thing as well for a lot of it. Like have a confidence in my ability to like I don't know, like actually get into the fights or like not like participate more actively in the fights and be less scared of like dying obviously. Like
Mm-hmm.
on Freya, I feel like I just like I gain like balls of steel and I did like in like ranked I don't care, just like run it down and it just works.
Yeah.
Um I think it's like the main thing that I've like noticed between me playing like Freya compared to like the flex DPS. Like I find the flex DPS way more fun to play and a lot more enjoyable. Um, but like yeah, I feel like I just need to
Yeah, I
to
mean,
work on it
it's
some more
it's
as
not
well.
it's not all just about like you know reckless confidence or whatever. I mean, there was definitely an
Yeah,
element of like you know you're playing like a pussy, you're playing like really far away from
yeah,
them, and like you're hiding during the fights and stuff like that. But I do think that there's just like Trace is just really fucking hard. Like Trace is
yeah,
really positionally intensive, it's aim intensive, and it's the most punishing of the lot. You know, like if you
yeah,
mess up any of these things, you just wind up dying. Trace is naturally something that it's like, you know, if someone's like a high ranked Tracer one trick, they can get to like a reasonable standard on like pretty much
yeah,
every
yeah,
other character because like they've learned all of the skills required to be good at like every character in the fucking game.
yeah,
Whereas for something like hit scan, it's like if you can aim and you can generally engage with the concept of stand, you know, between 0 and 45, 60 degrees away from the fight at all times, then like
yeah,
you will probably find value on hit scan as long as you can hit the shot, right? And like it doesn't feel
yeah,
like you have a mechanical deficit. It's more just like, you know, improving on your positioning and your spacing. Whereas like with hit scan, you
yeah.
because it's less intensive on those skills, you do better.
Yeah, I also do feel like I've still got like a bit of a hit scan brain as well, which is like sort of seeping into like Tracer and like Genji gameplay. I noticed with Echo when I play Echo actually, I generally play Echo like I should play Tracer. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Like I'm always like not with my team, or I'm always in the air or always on a building or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Echo's probably my most comfortable flex DPS.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I think just keep playing a variety of the characters. Like you know, with hit scan, I mean, you'll probably play it and climb, but like you know, you just need to have like more. I'd say don't just like play a bit of everything, you know. Don't just like spin the wheel because like every character
yeah,
has like a different skill set that needs to be improved upon, you know. Like the majority of your feedback here was like for Tracer, and like some of that doesn't apply to you know like to Genji. Like the rules for spacing on Genji are different, and like the space that you take is different because you can climb walls and you want to be able to climb in and out of the fight and shit like that. The rules for
yeah,
Echo are different again because you want to like fly up on the high ground and float in and sneak attack people more and stuff like that. So I think it's
yeah,
Tracer's a good hero to like build a base. Like you'll build a base with everything. You know, if you want to climb, if you want
yeah,
to win games, just lock Freya, lock hit scan and shoot them in the head. But if you want to like, you know, build broader skills that are like applicable to the game as a whole and like understand, you know, how you can position to take less damage and deal more damage to the enemy and you know, deal damage for longer periods of time without getting forced out. Tracer's like the best base builder character that you can have. Like you'll
yeah,
just learn all of the skills passively through Tracer as long as you're intentional.
yeah. I got a like alt account. I think it's like plat something just to play Tracer on.
Oh yeah.
Um, I don't think I've played it since like the mid-season patch. Um, but yeah, like I'm like just sticking to trying to like play her and like get a like get my mechanics on her up, because I don't think I have much playtime on Tracer on PC. I played her a bit on console, but like
Mhm.
that's just not a real thing. Console's not real.